Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another Walking Dead character video. Today we are looking at Jackson, aka the Liar, and his friend, the Abuser. They are two bodies seen in the Governor's solo episode. I'm going to try and keep this monetized, so for as long as possible, I'm going to be calling Jackson's friend the Abuser, but there's a better word to describe him, of course. Anyway, Jackson is of course male, his actor is unknown, he is late 30s to early 40s and first appeared in Dead Weight. Jackson's friend is of course male, he is played by an unknown actor, he is mid to late 30s and first appeared in Dead Weight. Before the outbreak, both men worked for the US military, and they likely knew each other. At some point after the outbreak began, Jackson, the Liar, and his friend came across a cabin in the woods, occupied by a man, his daughter, and his wife. Now, the actual events that transpired can be speculated on, but we just don't know for sure what happened. All we do know is that Jackson lied to the father, and then his friend abused the father's daughter and wife. Again, there's a more specific word for this abuse. I don't think the father was present when this happened, and it appears both men fled the cabin after committing these acts. The father tracked down Jackson's friend first, tied him to a chair, staked a sign reading what he is into his chest, and then decapitated him. Later, the father tracked down Jackson, tied him to a tree, put a nailed sign reading liar into his chest, and then decapitated him too. The father then brought both heads back to his cabin, keeping them kind of like trophies, just like the governor did. Parallels. Am I right? I've seen some people debate whether or not the heads were brought back as trophies. I think they could be, or there's another alternative theory I have, but we have to save that for when I do a video on the murderer and his family. Yes, I must milk this series, so I'm not combining them. Anyway, in Season 4, Jackson's body is found by the Governor, Mitch, Pete and Martinez in the woods whilst they're on a scavenging mission. Sometime after this, they find Jackson's friend tied to a chair, just a little bit away from where the cabin is located. After being attacked by the wife of the family in the cabin, Pete sees the two decapitated heads of Jackson and his friend, freaking him the hell out. Mitch then rushes over and kicks, I think, Jackson's friend's head across the room. After this, it's unknown if the four men put the heads down, but I don't see them staying in this cabin if they didn't personally, so I think they were both put down. Both Jackson and his friend's bodies are left to rot. R.I.P. Jackson and his friend. Okay, so I couldn't not do this video and not give my take on how I think it all unfolds. So here I go. I think Jackson went to the cabin with his friend and either told the father that they were some good men just looking for a safe place, or they lied about being from the government in some official capacity. I think this all transpired as well very early on into the outbreak. I think the father then went out hunting or something like that. He appears to be some sort of survivalist, so he definitely would have those skills. And I think Jackson promised he'd keep the father's family safe, hence him being later known as the Liar. Then Jackson's friend abused likely both the mother and daughter before both men fled. Now, they didn't take any supplies, so I think they fled in a hurry. I think the father was coming back and they ran away. I think the father figured out what happened very, very quickly, and then he immediately went into his revenge mode and went after both men, catching Jackson's friend first, not very far away from the cabin. He tied him to a chair and killed him, of course, before going into the woods and finding Jackson. Then he tied him to a tree and killed him too. The father then collected both the heads of the soldiers, being truly broken by what had transpired. I don't think he told his family about the heads either. I think this was some sort of twisted game that he kind of enjoyed, although obviously these men deserved it for what they did. I think there was a part of him that enjoyed it, and he kept the heads as trophies. Then, one day after the daughter discovered the head, she got bit by one of them, but I think she hid the bite from her parents. The next day, she died, reanimated, and attacked the mother. That's my interpretation, but I've seen many other ways that it's interpreted too. The reason why I believe this one more so is how it parallels to the governor's story. The governor lost his surrogate daughter, Megan, because he wasn't there to keep her safe, as he was busy attacking the prison. One could say there was an aspect of revenge in his attack on the prison too. As a result, he lost his daughter. Exactly how the father lost his family due to his pursuit of revenge. It's also possible as well, just thinking about it, that the father returned to find his family gone, quickly dumped the walker heads that he brought back, and then shot himself. I mean, that was possible too. How the family died, that's up for debate. We can talk about that in another video, but I think it parallels nicely to the governor, is my point. I mean, the father literally has an eye patch in the... I mean, it's a blood splatter, but he basically has an eye patch in the photo as well. I mean, come on. If you have a different interpretation, though, let me know. I think what's great about this scene, this environmental storytelling, is it's just rich for anyone to take their own interpretation. And it's kind of like one of those things where no one's right and no one's wrong, you know? Jackson and his friend are just environmental storytelling, but honestly, it was so cool when The Walking Dead did this. Not to say that they drop it completely in the later seasons, but stuff like this just feels way more detailed and grotesque and thought-provoking than the stuff that we get in the later seasons. Tell me your thoughts on these characters, and let's spin that wheel. Let's pick another character profile. Who will it be? Oh, sugar. Well, let's pick another character profile. Who will it be? I shouldn't have axed that. Oh. Ooh. Dr. Candace Jenner. That's right, all the way from season 1. I was going to leave this one to be like the last of the named characters, but we'll just let the wheel decide who that's going to be.